I'm Sadie. I was born in New Jersey. 2 years old, we moved to Florida, and lived in a predominantly black area. So based on that, and my parents both being from New York, I had a lot of great, like Ray Charles, Billie Holiday. That's who my parents listened to, Ray Charles, Billie Holiday, Stevie Wonder, that old school R&B. My ear was pulled to that very early on. And, you know, when I was a teenager, I decided I'm gonna go to New York and I'm gonna sing the blues.
Dana rages. I had to go get vocal lessons and deal with some instruction from her instructor so I could figure out what is he teaching her so I can get some of that, because I'm gonna have to deal with her on stage, you know, and she ain't easy to deal with. She's out the box and badass.
Martin's just, you know, we come from such a similar place as far as just the soul background, and, you know, he's the real deal. He's such an authentic person and musician. And what's so cool is our personalities really complement each other, because he is that cool JoJo, and I am that Sadie, you know? I remember emailing him after, like, our first or second day shooting. We had to lay in the grass with bugs and ticks and rain and half-dressed. We had to lay in there for these tedious, like, long scenes over and over, and I just emailed him later, and I said, thank God it's you I'm doing this film with. I'm so happy.
Dana I had met as a singer. I didn't know if she could act. And yet I knew that she had exactly the right character for Sadie, this rock and roll singer. So the part was created for Dana, and she delivers, and she can act.
You know, I was wondering on that. It seems like there's so much repetition, and if I were live performing the song, I'd be like, he roller coaster, he got all he wanted. I might change it up, but if you want me to stick with the straight melody. I had done this show, Love, Janice, and months after that closed, I got an email that Julie Taymor's office was looking for me. She'd gotten my name from the producers of Love, Janice. She said, I'm looking for a really strong singer who can really, you know, belt something. So she went to my website, found out I was performing, called me in to do a demo, something entirely different, this crazy, bizarre song. When I was done, I remember Julie coming in, the vocal booth, and she said, do you act? As I was leaving, and I said, of course, you know, of course. And she said, you know, I have something in mind for you. You might hear from me. And a year later, I got called. I sweated. I was so nervous. I wanted it so badly. Didn't tell anybody. I kept saying it's such a long shot. Then Julie called me at home and congratulated me and told me she wrote it for me. I mean, I just felt like I was in a movie when I was on the phone and she was telling me that, and there was no one there to witness this. I was just going, oh my God. You know, because on top of getting it, to find out, you know, she wrote it for me, and she said there was no other Sadie. Didn't mean you had it. I had to see if you could act. You know, that's what she said. So that just, it still blows my mind. Why don't we just do it in the road?
Sadie the Goddess, because she is a singer, you know, she's a performer. Everything from the black R&B to the Janis Joplin to herself and all the beauty and power. And then we have Martin, my buddy Martin, who is the real thing. He is a guitar player, he's a singer-songwriter. He walks in at 10 o'clock with makeup, and even though we're buddies, he's already just comes to me and says, I ain't no man. You sure we're ready for this? He's already, you know, performing for the next 12, 14 hours. He's in that character.
JoJo's never really the nervous, timid kind of a cat. He's just coming out of arduous circumstances and now coming into the unknown. And I've done that a few times in my own life, in my pursuit of my career and my music dreams, you know. Just having the wherewithal to go against the grain and against the machine and with everything that I create.
Martin Luther, I don't think he's done that much acting, but he's a phenomenal actor. So this was a really great discovery.
Music's the only thing that makes sense anymore, man. Play it loud enough. Keeps the demons at bay. You know, Julie was like, we're considering you for the role. You know, you think you can pull this off? And I'm just like, well, first of all, it's either pull this off or go back to California. It ain't nothing waiting for me in California as good as this. So hell yeah, I can pull this off. You know what I mean? Let's go do it. Julie gives me, she gives me what I need in order to execute or to get from me what she needs. You know what I mean? And then if I had an idea or suggestion, she'll listen to it. Half of the stuff, maybe 80%, she shoot it down, you know. But then the 20% gets in there. And then that allows me to feel like, okay, I can make a little bit of a contribution beyond just having to know what's on this piece of paper. I was wearing a kilt. You know, Julie's the bomb. You know, I can't really say anything other than the work speaks for itself.
I remember the first night we all went out, Jim said, "Oh, shit, man. Can you believe we're..."
I feel like we were all kind of soulmates and, like, we've all just bonded. And it's weird because if you probably met us all on our own, you wouldn't really expect us all to come together the way that we did. But everything about this whole experience has been just crazy in the best possible way.
I've worked with young people before, but never in this kind of concentrated way. And maybe this is too personal, whatever, but they were my children. You know, they are the age, if I had gone that way, they were there. So they were so adorable to watch, be blown away by what was happening around them. You know, just kind of, there was nothing jaded. There's not enough experience in all of them to have gotten jaded. I feel so lucky that I'm on the first film for a lot of these people because they're gonna go somewhere, and it's nice to have been there first, you know?